Wercker provides automation of an app's build and deployment. Our sample app is an API written in Go, which talks to a Mongo database and has a React front-end written in JavaScript. Our API and front-end source code is stored in 2 zip files. Let's unzip the API source code into our Go path source directory. We create a local Git repository for our API using the standard combination of git init, git add, and git commit commands. There's currently no remote for our repository, so we'll add one to our demo project in Oracle Developer Cloud Service. We'll click the New Repository button, enter a name for our repository, select Empty Repository, and click Create. Oracle Developer Cloud Service creates a repository. We can connect our local repository to our new repository on ODCS by switching to the SSH tab of the Setup section and copying and running the commands from Push an Existing Repository using the command line. After connecting to the remote, we can push the files from our local repo. Let's take a look at some of our application code. Main.go contains a simple main function that sets up a Mongo database connection and performs the setup to handle stores and menu items. Stores.go includes the setup stores function, which creates a collection for working with the stores in the database and performs the setup to handle requests, which will come from the front end. This structure is used to marshal stores in and out of the database, as well as to and from JSON representation. Handle stores is a handler function. It can take a GET request, which returns stores, a PUT request, which adds a new store, a patch request, which updates an existing store, and a delete request, which deletes a store. The other application files handle the other collections and their corresponding requests in the same manner as stores. Let's build the API. Now we can run our application. That's it. It's up and running and listening on port 32001. We'll open another terminal and use curl to connect to the API. This returns JSON that represents an empty array, since we currently have no stores in our database. We can create some by executing a setup script. Running the command again, we see our list of stores that were created by the script. We need a front end for our application. Our second zip file contains a large set of React Node modules. It'll take a few seconds to unzip the file. Repeating the same steps we performed for the API, we'll create a local Git repository for the front end code, create a remote in Oracle Developer Cloud Service, connect the two, and push our local code to the remote. Let's look at the front end code. This is the package file. The React scripts entry tells us that this is a Create React App application. The app will run on port 32000. The proxy entry enables us to easily connect to our API. App.js contains our application. It uses a component called welcome, which is defined in welcome.js. The welcome component defines our routes. The default route displays the stores component. Opening stores.js, we can see that the stores component uses the fetch API to connect to our API, which is the same /API/v1/stores endpoint that we tested using the curl command earlier. The API turns the JSON into objects and then renders those objects using the store buttons component. Let's run the front end so we can see our app in action. The front end connected to the API and turned our JSON into this website. And if you're hungry, step inside for an ice cream. Learn more at cloud.oracle.com/containers/pipelines.